It is difficult to understand almost anything that has happened in the royal story since the 5th of February 2024, the day King Charles announced to the world that he had cancer, unless you are privy to an extraordinary assumption whispered in the corridors of British power. It's this: when King Charles III ascended to the throne, most people expected that he would live the same age as his mother, 96, or father, 99. Since his diagnosis of cancer, of a yet-to-be-determined type, there are only a few ardent optimists who really believe that. Hello there. Please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any news about the royal monarchy. Few of us can predict the time of our own death, let alone when someone else will die, and there's no doubt about that. That king is doing fantastically well in his battle against cancer. His resilience has been exceptional, and proof of that is his upcoming tour to Australia, which begins in less than 2 weeks. He had been pared down and pared back a bit, but in the dark days of February, when his cancer diagnosis was announced, few would have thought he would travel to the Antipodes 8 months later. The combined strength of the British medical establishment puts everything it has into treating his illness, the latest treatments and, of course, Charles, his favorite herbs and natural healing remedies are also published. But even if Charles was eventually announced to be in full remission, when he broke with centuries-old royal tradition and announced he had cancer, he fired the starting gun on what courtiers euphemistically called a change of vow. It started behind the scenes, and it will be very difficult to put the genie back in the bottle. Charles' family was told the truth: it was serious. This, of course, is why Prince Harry flew out of California 3 days later, and why the king agreed to meet him. William also rushed to work. A few days after the news broke, he appointed a new private secretary, Ian Patrick, a former diplomat with 8 years' experience at the Foreign Office. The implication was clear: William would step into a larger, more global role. However, William's plans were brutally undermined after his wife was diagnosed with cancer, forcing him to retreat from public life and international travel for several months. Now, of course, with Kate on the mend, William is back and has a much higher profile than his father, who has spent the last few weeks gathering and sustaining his strength for the tour of Australia. William will resume his extensive international travels when he travels to South Africa in early November to attend the Earthshot Awards. It promises to be a high-profile affair. For Harry, the potentially changing time frame of his father's reign poses special problems, because for Harry there can be no meaningful rehabilitation, which would allow him to maximize his influence as a global social activist, showing up and doing good, as he are, as his team likes to say, without reaching a peace agreement with his family foundation. The truth is that Harry is more likely to be able to make a deal with King Charles III than with King William V. The change in ruling won't really affect wife Meghan Markle, who seems quite happy to be at war with the British royal family. But talk to sources close to Harry, and it's pretty clear that, regardless of his income success, he's tired of playing a bit part in a story of family drama and strife and would like nothing more than to restore his reputation and perhaps, in time, become better known as a serious player in the world of philanthropy. A royal source told me that some insiders believe Harry took advantage of his family secrets in the hope that he could return to the royal fold because of his father's affection for his beloved boy. He may have 20 years with his father as the ultimate authority to fix those broken bridges, the source said. That the source added that if a settlement is reached with his father, William will not want to waste time or political capital trying to rewrite it when he becomes king. When asked whether they believed Harry would have written the book he did, or publicly accused family members, one of whom was later revealed to be Kate Middleton, of racism if they suspected Kate might be queen alongside his enemy, King William said, a few years later, that's exactly the point. I doubt it. Executive power and influence are already flowing William's way. Anyone who doubts this need only look at the brilliant video William and Kate posted last month on Instagram to announce her cancer recovery. It was not signed by the king, and did not feature Charles, but Kate's parents, Mike and Carol. Letting go of that cheek shows that William and Kate have an instinctive understanding, even though they would never admit it and their office never did. Honor the Daily Beast's inquiries on this topic by responding to how the power dynamic has shifted since King's diagnosis. Charles' staff, who have always declined to comment on Charles' diagnosis and maintain that position in response to the Daily Beast's inquiries for this article, are understood to be protective of anyone speculating about the president's health. However, there is a strong case to be made that discussing the death of the monarch is a legitimate and practical matter of public interest, precisely because of the hereditary principle, the anachronism that the House of Windsor spent their entire lives supporting and defending. In any case, such sensitivity does not change the fact that the entire royal heaven was reorganized on the 5th of February 2024. Interestingly, the Daily Beast was told that some of Charles's advisors, who instinctively preferred not to let daylight into the magic, felt the announcement. He was a cancer patient and politically naive.